Okay, so number one, first and foremost, here's why I'm making this. And no, it's not clickbait. Okay, you see the title, Women Are Actually Attracted to Nice Guys. It's not clickbait. And the reason why I'm making this is because I see a lot of guys who are down a certain rabbit hole that are completely like stuck in this mindset of, oh, I'm all tough, I'm all brash, I'm so high value. But they still can't meet, approach, attract any of the girls they want. And this was inspired from my vacation this week because I was in Vegas for a few days. And what I saw, like, I'm very observant, you know, like when I'm constantly observing everybody. Like I observe everybody who's around me. I observe the mannerisms of, you know, people I'm out with. I observe just like people. Okay. And I would constantly see these guys who, you know, you can tell like they're dressed up or they're looking a certain way. I was staying at the Aria. I was there for 3-4 nights, and you can see they're dressed a certain way, they're looking a certain way, they're trying to look all tough, and then you know what I'm saying, like they're that dude and that other guy that he's checking out, like, you know, that girl, they're like, oh, you know, she's cute, but then they walk right past it, don't do anything. And I would watch this happen over and over as guys wouldn't actually talk to the girls they want. Guys wouldn't talk to the girls that they're attracted to. And I find this very interesting because for probably so many men who are, you know, wanting to have a great life, you know, have a desirable woman who's in love with them and actually have a fulfilled relationship, it really surprises me how many men don't actually understand that women like nice guys, just not in the way that you think they do. So this isn't clickbait. You have to sit with me for the next 5 to 15 minutes to understand this, because here's who this is for. If you've been indoctrinated into so many masculinity alpha concepts for the past years, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, if you've been indoctrinated into all this red pill sauce for so long, like, you got to understand your brain and your belief system has been shifted. Okay, it's been shifted by people, it's been shifted by books, it's been shifted by influencers. I'm not saying you have to disregard all of that content and that great, amazing information you've probably received that 100% has helped your life in some way, shape, or form. I'm not telling you that at all. What I am telling you is I want you to be open to new experiences, because if you've consumed all of that content and you still don't have the dating life that you want, this is for you. So where am I going with this? Okay, in order for me to truly hammer this point across and the right way, we have to get something clear, because there's two types of guys. There is guys who are nice because they want to be, and there's guys who are nice because they have to be. Okay? Let's break down both of these. Guys who are nice because they want to be, okay, this is how they act and this is how their mannerisms are. They're very nice to women. They're pleasing to be around. They create great dates. They create great chemistry with the woman. They're very, like, they have good, pleasing interactions. Like, if you walked up to that girl that was with that guy and you said, hey, is he good to be around? She would say, yes, absolutely. The experience was amazing. He's nice because he wants to be. Here's the difference though. That guy, if he's nice because he wants to be, can turn it off if reciprocity isn't there. Okay, so this is how I operate everything in my dating life. Reciprocity has to be there. Reciprocal. I expect reciprocal treatment. So I will constantly create amazing dates with women, create amazing experiences with women. Okay, I'm going to make them feel extremely special. We're going to be snuggled up on the couch together. Okay, she's going to feel very soft and very flirty. These are good things. Like, she's going to feel an extremely strong emotional pull towards me. Okay, but since I'm being nice to her, I also expect that back, which means that the reciprocity aspect is so much. So what I'm trying to tell you is this: as a man, if you want to be nice because you want to be, the key to this on the back half is you can never become so emotionally attached and so whipped that you are willing to just bend and break regardless of her treatment. So I'll give you an example. Since I expect reciprocity, a reciprocal treatment of being nice, that means if I'm going to do all these things, well, I obviously want the girl to be nice back to me. If not, why would I want to be with her? Here's what you have to understand though. That is extremely different from the guy who is nice because he has to be. The guys who is nice because he has to be, the problem is he has no backbone. Okay, so here's what I mean by this. What he will do is the girl's treatment will be very bad to him. Like, she'll start to display low interest. She'll start to maybe test, or all of a sudden there's just responses or fights or arguments that he's not necessarily starting. And all of a sudden what will happen is he will continue to give and give and give. Okay, that is extremely different from being nice because you want to be. If you're nice because you want to be, and you want to have good, pleasing experiences with women, you're doing this for the betterment of the whole. You're doing this for the betterment of the relationship. You're doing this for the betterment of both of you. Every single time in my life I've operated this way, you guys, you get more, you get better sex. You get more of it. You also start to have like quality women who want to stick around because of how they're treated. Like you get women who constantly ask, do I get to see you again soon? When do I get to see you? Are you busy? Do you need anything from work? I mean, when you master this, I've been working like a full day. I'll have women just randomly ring the doorbell, drop off like a big burger from my favorite restaurant and leave and just say, got you something special, kissy face. We're not even exclusively dating, but that's the lengths they'll go to. Why? Because they're being treated properly. They're being treated like a woman should. And if you want attractive women to stick around in your life, you're not going to be able to get away with treating them like assholes. You're not going to get to just treat them like complete shit. Expect them to keep wanting to sleep with you. Expect them to keep wanting to see you. Expecting her emotions not to go emotionally volatile and haywire. And you think that girl is going to want to keep coming over to your house and sleeping with you. This is some of the most backward shit I've ever seen. Anybody out there who's telling you you have to treat all these girls extremely poorly or create volatile emotional responses, like you got to understand just how quickly that will tarnish the relationship. So to recap again, you have to understand a guy who's nice because he has to be. No, a woman doesn't want that because he has no backbone. He's not able to walk away from the relationship. He's not able to walk away. A guy who's nice because he wants to be, what he can do is he can walk away from the relationship at the drop of a hat if reciprocity isn't there, if he's not getting reciprocal treatment. So if I'm creating all of these great relationships with women, if things start to go south or they're being very mean to me or they're pulling away or being rude or displaying like immature behavior, yeah, I'm not going to be nice to them anymore. They're not going to get a text back from me. They're not going to get a call back from me. But that's as far as I'm going to take it. And the key to this is not caring so much and not over-investing so much to the point where you keep giving and keep giving. And the guy who's nice because he has to be, that guy will just keep giving. He'll keep saying, what did I do wrong? He knows he didn't do anything wrong, but he'll keep just going to these lengths to try and please her. So they're two completely different aspects. And if you've been down this like rabbit hole where you've consumed so much masculinity content, you've consumed so much like alpha male, red pill content, guys, seriously, I would 100% advise you to go down below into my page and actually check out and watch the MBT webinar. Okay, MBT, I created this around 2020, 2021, that time. Well, actually, more or less, probably 2019, 2020. Regardless, I've had thousands of guys use this. Like over the years, not only have I enrolled thousands of people with the systems that I've used, but MBT stands for Masculine Behavioral Techniques. And the really cool thing about that is when you start to use and amplify these into your dating life the correct way, here's what's going to happen. When you approach women, it's going to feel extremely authentic. When you also approach women, what's going to happen is you're going to get good responses and good replies back from her as close to 100% of the time as humanly possible without facing any risk, without facing any rejection. And because these techniques any guy can use, what's going to happen is I've seen all walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different nationalities, all different age demographics of guys coming into this. And by the end of it, they're completely different men. By the end of it, they are completely different like individuals. The way they talk, the way they speak, the way they operate is completely different. And the testimonials that I've received over the years of guys saying, Casey, this totally changed my dating life, or this is witchcraft to be the methods I was using before. Like this doesn't have to be complex. Dating should be one of the easiest things that a guy has to do in life because it's natural. It's rooted in your human biology. The key to realize is like, if you've been so deep in your own belief system with all of these other red pill topics or all of this other BS that's left you in a standpoint where you're still home by yourself every single night without a robust dating life, yeah, you're going to have to do things differently. So check out that training below. I just actually put it back, or I just brought it back onto this channel probably about a week ago. Okay, I've actually not had this training up for you guys, but now that I have it, you can register. It's completely free, and I think you guys are going to get tons of value out of it. Like if you apply the 4 steps, the 4 keys of MBT, you are going to completely crush it within your dating life. So that's huge. Be sure to check that out. But to recap, like treat people good. Treat the women in your life good. Okay, give good experiences to women. Yes, that makes you a nice guy, but you can be a nice guy with a backbone that's willing to walk away. Like you don't need to get your panties in a wad over any of these. If girls start to act the wrong way towards you, maybe they're not nice, maybe they're not flirty, maybe they are being rude to you, or they're displaying low interest. Well, yeah, okay. It looks like it goes two ways. And it doesn't matter how pretty she is, like, you're willing to walk away. But that doesn't mean you need to carry yourself as some badass who's going to just completely act the wrong way, treat people rude, and expect to get away with that. I'm telling you, these guys who are telling you to do that, they don't have the quality of relationships you think they do. They don't. When you treat girls so poorly, you got to understand it creates toxicity, emotional volatility. She might maybe come back over and stay with you one or two more times. You guys might sleep together a few more times, but you watch. Her sexual interest in you is going to dry up so quick. It's going to dry up because she doesn't feel the right way. She doesn't feel like she can be safe with that man. She doesn't feel like she can trust that man, right? If pregnancy were to happen, she doesn't feel safe with him. It's emotionally volatile so much to the degree that she doesn't know what to do. And you watch, slowly she withdraws. Slowly she closes off. Slowly she's emotionally distant. And then she hates you. And by the end of it, yeah, you maybe slept with her 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. By the end of it, she hates your guts. She tells all of her friends how much she hates your guts. And then you didn't create any quality relationships with her. Do you think that that's good? This is how most guys are living right now. This is how most guys are navigating the world. And the reason why I've totally shifted my content is because this is what I was seeing. Even the way I would deliver my messages downstairs on my whiteboard when I would talk about masculinity and whatnot, it wasn't the right way because guys were still walking away with the wrong impression. We're going to leave it at that. I think that I covered this point well. If you like this video, I do want you to comment. I do realize I'm probably one of the only guys on the internet who actually has this sort of message. Okay, I do actually understand that this is not a common message. I do understand that just because it's not a common message doesn't mean it can't impact you and your life the way that I know that it's impacted me. And if you actually want results with girls, go ahead and actually just try it out. Try it out once or twice. I'm not saying you got to commit to it for life, but the methods I just described to you and showed you in this video, just try it out for yourself. Like, oh, there's a cute girl. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to be nice to her and I'm going to see what happens. And I'm going to walk away if I'm not treated nicely. Oh my gosh, how amazing is that? All you have to do is carry yourself with some sort of default respect and expect a certain standard out of not just women, but people. And guess what? You're probably going to get treated the right way. Just try it once or twice. Operate your brain on a blank slate. But see, a lot of guys won't do that. They're so convinced of their old belief sets. They've so drank the Kool-Aid of all the gurus on the internet that they're just so unwilling to just try. I advise you, have the maturity to just try. Watch it work wonders for you.